Dear students, welcome back to my class on the third module of your text, Transactions Essential English Language Skills. Today I shall discuss simple past tense. You take your textbook, take page number 64. A few exercises are given. A pre-learning task is given. 5 questions are there as pre-learning task. You answer those questions and then do exercise 1 and exercise 2. And we can discuss the answers of these questions later. And simple past tense. Simple past tense is used to talk about past actions and events. The events began and ended in the past. At one particular time in the past, this happened. Simple past tense is used for actions completed in the past at a definite time. It is therefore used for a past action when the time is given. I met him yesterday. Pastor died in 1895. Simple past tense is used when the time is asked about. For example, when did you meet him? We are asking about the time. Simple past tense is used when the action clearly took place at a definite time even though the time is not mentioned. Here, a statement with a simple past tense. A time can be mentioned or time may not be mentioned. Anyhow, the action clearly took place at a definite time in the past. The train was 10 minutes late. We are obviously talking about a past event, even though time is not mentioned. How did you get your present job? I bought this car in Montreal. Here we are talking about a past event even though time is not mentioned. Here Mrs. Menon left this place a month ago. Here an adverb of time is used, a month ago. The screening of the film started at 7 p.m. An adverb of time is used. The simple past indicates completion of an action in the immediate or remote past. For example, Remini returned yesterday. Newton saw an apple fall. Simple past indicates completion of an action in immediate or remote past. Some other examples are here. It rained in Kerala yesterday. Immediate past. We invited them to our party and they decided not to come. Time is not mentioned. Yet obviously the actions took place in the past. Rajesh watched television last night. The police stopped me on my way home last night. I went to the cinema 3 times last week. He worked in the bank for 5 years. She lived in Rome for a long time. Time is not mentioned here. She lived in Rome for a long time. That may be a recent past or a remote past. The simple past tense is also used for a past habit. He always carried an umbrella. A past habit when we are talking about our past habit. I always carried an umbrella. They never drank wine. Simple past is also used for repeated past actions and events. I always went shopping on Saturdays. Here is an action the person did in every Saturday. So, a repeated action in the past. We can see in the sense statement a repeated action in the past. Every Saturday, he or she went shopping on Saturday. During my childhood, I visited the place every month. Every month, the person visited the place during his or her childhood. Simple past tense is also used to express past states. State means state of our mind or our condition, our feelings, long-standing situations or feelings. In order to express that, simple past tense is used. Our past state of mind or state of our condition of our life or our feeling. My father knew the Prime Minister. We are talking about a past situation. I knew him when he was a student. A past situation. We often use a time expression with the past tense, or we may not use a time expression as in the sentence the train was 10 minutes late. Time expression is not used, but time expression can be used as in these sentences. Did you go out last week? She got up at 7 o'clock. He slept well last night and spent a lot of money yesterday. She didn't go out yesterday evening. Now, form of past tense. Passive statements, negative statements, WH questions. Regular verbs and with regular verbs and irregular verbs. The simple past tense in regular verbs is formed by adding ed to the infinitive or root form of the verb. Adding ed. For example, work, worked. Ed or d. For example, verbs ending in e. We only add d. For example, love, L-O-V-E plus d, loved, L-O-V-E-D, loved. I worked, you worked, he worked. Here we can see the same form is used for all person. First person, I worked. Unlike simple present tense. I worked, you worked, he worked. I hope you remember with a simple present tense, we add s with a if the subject is singular or third person. For example, I work, you work, he works, she works. If the subject is third person singular, s is added with a verb. But here the same form is used for all persons, first person, second person and third person. I watched, you watched, we watched, she watched, he watched, it watched, they watched. I did not watch, negative statement. What did you watch? WH question. The negative of regular and irregular verbs is formed with did not or didn't and the root form of the verb. I did not work. You didn't work. The interrogative or question of regular and irregular verbs is formed with did plus subject plus infinitive or root form of the verb. Did I work? Did you work? That is a interrogative form. Did I work? You shouldn't use did I worked. Instead, did I work? That is correct. Negative interrogative is didn't you work? And also when adding ed, sometimes the final consonants doubles. Doubling of final consonants occurs in the case of the verbs like admit, admitted, 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 stopped. Final consonant, here also the doubling of final consonant takes place. Stop, stopped. travel, travelled, Travelled. And also the verb ends in Y, becomes I before adding ed. For example, carry, carried, try, tried, tried. And now irregular verbs. Irregular verbs vary considerably in their simple past form. Example, eat. Past tense is ate, ate. Leave, left. See, saw. Speak, spoke. Went, go, went. I did not eat, ate. Where did you go? What did you do in the evening? Do, did, did. These all are irregular verbs. I was cold, so I shut the window. The past tense of shut is the same form. Shut, shut the window. He bought a dress, buy, bought, which cost, past tense of cost is cost. Cost 2,000 rupees. So these all are irregular verbs. They do not form their past tense by adding ed or d. The past of the verb be, helping verb be. The different forms of be is am, is, are. The past tense of am and is was. Am, I am, I was. She is, she was. Are is the plural form. They are. Past tense is they were. I was angry because they were late. They weren't able to come because they were late. Was the weather good when you were on holiday? Now yes or no question. Positive short answers, negative short answers. Did you watch it? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Negative short answer, positive short answer. Did you go home then? Did you go alone? Was the food good? Did you stay in a hotel? Did you meet anybody interesting? Positive short answer is yes, I did. Negative short answer is no, I didn't. Now you take your textbook, page number 64. We can discuss pre-learning task. What is correct? A, B or both? I lost your address. I lost your address, which is the past tense, simple past tense form. LOSED or past tense of LOSE is LOST. LOST, lost. So B is correct. I lost is incorrect. B is correct. I broke a window. John broke a window. Both are correct. I broke a window. John broke a window. He broke a window. The same form is used for first person, second person or third person in the case of simple past tense. So both are correct. Now first question, the rain stopped. B, the rain stopped. STOPPED is correct. So B is correct. First question answer is B. Second question, you never visited me in hospital. You didn't visit me in hospital. Both are correct. A and B are correct. Both are negative statements in question number 2. Now question number 3. I didn't know the answer. I didn't knew the answer. Correct is question, A. A is correct. Third question, correct sentence is A. I didn't know the answer. We shouldn't say I didn't knew the answer. Where did everybody go? Where everybody went. The question form is, the interrogative form is, the interrogative of regular and irregular verb is formed with a did plus subject plus infinitive. So did plus subject plus infinitive. Where did everybody go? That is the usual form. So A is correct. Where did everybody go? Did plus subject plus infinitive is the question form. And fifth question, who said that? Who did say that? Normally we say who said that because who, which, whose, what. When used as subjects are normally followed by an affirmative, not an interrogative verb. When who as subject, who said that? We are asking about the subject, who said. So there is no need of following a interrogative form like did plus subject plus infinitive. Affirmative form is enough. So who said that? Who did say that? There is no need of asking like that. In normal case, who said that is enough. So A is correct. Now exercise 1. Read the following two texts by two children, a 5-year-old and a 12-year-old, and identify the differences in ways in which past events are narrated by each. Text 1. A 12-year-old is narrating his or her experience and narrating a past event. First of all, I went to a fashion shop and bought a necklace with a heart. I paid 100 rupees for it. Then I went to a shop selling beauty products and bought shower gel. Then I went to a bookshop and bought a receipt book for 200 rupees. Then I went to the CD music shop and purchased a CD holder for 150 rupees. A little later, I went to the sweet shop and bought a birthday cake for my brother. A 12-year-old adolescent, boy or girl, uh, narrates the past events. And now text 2, that is narrated by a 5-year-old child. First of all, I spent my money on a toy car. And you can see some errors are there, some mistakes are there as this past event is narrated by a 5-year-old child. First of all, I spent my money. That's spent is incorrect. Spent is correct. Spent on a toy car. It costed me. It's got street light and just got street light and roads, and you put it together and play with your cars on it. I didn't want to buy any sweets. Then I went to the cinema with my dad to watch my favorite movie, Jungle Book. Dad, buy me some popcorn, and I ate it. I really like popcorn. I wish my mom would give me popcorn every week at home. I have read two texts, and now exercise 2. Find out the verbs in the past tense in the above text. I hope you have already written. So both narration are in past tense. Past events are narrated by both children. So many verbs in past tense are there, and here are a few examples. Went, bought, paid, purchased. And second question, find the verbs that are not in the past tense. Example, buy, second text, second text, buy, like, wish, play. Then third question, find the mistakes. Some mistakes are there in the narration of the past events by the 5-year-old child. Some mistakes are there like spended. Spent is the past tense of spend, spent. Then costed, past tense of cost is cost. And also here some grammatical mistakes are also there. Dad, buy me some popcorn. He has to say, Dad bought me some popcorn. Now, first exercise from page number 67, exercise 1. Are the past simple verbs in the following sentences single action, repeated action, or past states? If it is single action, you have to write SA. Repeated action, RA. Repeated action in the sense that the person is doing the same thing in every month or every Saturdays or every weekend in the past. I visited the place every weekend. So that is a repeated action. I went and visited my grandmother. That is I am talking about a single action. Or past states. Past states means our feeling, our state of our life, condition of our life in the past. Identify the statements. And one example is given. I took the new CD player out of the box, plugged it and switched it on. That's a single action. I'm talking about a single action. This is not an action I repeated. The person repeated every week or every month or every day. That's a single action of the person. So SA. First question. We lived in a small house in the coast which didn't have any heating, but we had a wonderful, exciting childhood. Here, the person is talking about his or her childhood, the condition of their childhood. So that is a past state of life, condition of life. Answer is past state. Second question. They left at 6 in the evening and drove all the way home without stopping. They left at 6 in the evening and drove all the way home without stopping. That's a single action. The statement, the sentence talks about a single action of a group of people. They left at 6 in the evening, yesterday or day before yesterday, in the evening or today evening, and drove all the way home without stopping. That's a single action. Then third question, as children, we went to the town center on Saturday afternoons and spent our pocket money on sweets and CDs. That's a repeated action. Every Saturday, as children, they went to the town center on every Saturday afternoon and spent their pocket money on sweets. So on sweets and CDs. So that's a repeated action. My friend Prashant came to my house and we talked about the latest movies. That's a single action. My friend came to my house and we talked about the latest movies. That may be yesterday or today morning or a few months back, somewhere in the past. I met my friend and we talked about movies. It's a single action. Fifth question, I knew her when she was a stop assistant. That's a past state, past condition. I knew her. My state condition. Past state. Then sixth question, in those days I got up really early and reached college before 8. So the person is talking about his or her routine, habit of getting up early and habit of reaching college at before 8 o'clock. So that's a repeated action. Now, the passage below describes an unsuccessful driving test. Fill in each gap with a verb from below in the past simple. You may use one verb more than once. This passage is about an unsuccessful driving test. The speaker narrates his or her experience. On my first driving, I ran out of petrol. Shortly after the restart, the car stopped again, although I didn't brake. I tried 5 times to restart it. No, I said to the driving examiner. The speaker is narrating a past event, so every sentence is in past tense. It won't start. It won't start within quotation. Within quotation. So, no, I said to the driving statement, it won't start within quotation. So, simple present tense is used. The examiner moved into the, it won't start unquote. The examiner moved into the driving seat and I pushed the car to the nearest service station where I paid for the petrol. Where I stopped for the petrol also is correct. This is not your fault and will not affect whether you pass the test, he said. So this sentence also is in quotation. This is not your fault. You can see in your textbook. This is not your fault. So simple present tense is used here because that is in quotation. The words of the examiner. This is not your fault and will not affect whether you pass the test. He unquote, he said. But I felt terrified and was not surprised to fail for lack of observation. Now next exercise, exercise 3. Make simple past negative statements. Example, I played hockey. Answer is I didn't play football. First question, we spoke Hindi together. We didn't speak Tamil together. My uncle taught mathematics. My uncle didn't teach science. So negative statement is did it plus root form of the verb teach. I wrote to my sister. I didn't write to my brother. He knew her address. He didn't know her phone number. We told our parents everything. We didn't tell the police anything. Exercise 4 is write 5 things you didn't do yesterday. Any 5 sentences you didn't do yesterday, you can write. I didn't play hockey yesterday. I didn't go for a movie yesterday. I didn't visit my friends yesterday. Now next exercise, exercise 5. Complete the questions, look at the examples. Somebody heard me. Who heard you? Example is, I am reading the example. Who heard you? Here in this question, somebody as the subject of the sentence. Somebody heard me. So the question is, who heard me? I heard somebody. Here somebody as an object of the sentence, object of the verb. I heard somebody. So who did you hear? Who did you hear? So here interrogative form. Interrogative form of the verb is used. Did plus subject plus infinitive. Who did you hear? Did plus subject plus root form of the verb. Who did you hear? But first sentence, somebody heard me. Who heard you? Here, who, whose, which, what, when used as subjects are normally followed by an affirmative, not an interrogative verb. Here, interrogative form is not used it. The interrogative is formed with a did plus subject plus infinitive. That is not used in the first sentence because somebody is the subject of the verb. Somebody heard me. Who heard you? I found somebody. Who did you find? Here somebody as an object of the sentence. Who did you find? Somebody wrote to me. Somebody as the subject. Who wrote to you? Who wrote to you? Here who is followed by an affirmative, not an interrogative verb. Something broke the window. Something as the subject of the sentence. What broke the window? I broke something. Here something is the object of the statement. What did you break? Gina played something. Here something as an object of the verb play. What did Gina play? Something fell off the table. Something as the subject. What fell off the table? And I hope you have followed my class, and I'm going to wind up this class. Thank you.